Joined now by the national sports editor of the Daily Hive and its Offside Sports Vertical, Rob the Hockey Guy on Twitter. Rob Williams, you know him, you love him. We missed him last week. And I had designs, Rob, when we booked this hit yesterday, that I'd be like, what an amazing night at Rogers Arena and the JT Miller return game. What was it like being in the building?
It was such a dud. I don't know if I was just tired from the 18-inning Jays game the night before.
Maybe everybody was, Rob. Maybe everybody was.
You know, I had my eye on the game on my laptop until the Rogers outage. Like a lot of people had the game crap out on them. Mm-hmm. I had it crap out on me using Rogers internet at Rogers Arena for the Rogers Blue Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. So that was a special kind of thing there. But no, it was a boring game. Not much happened. The Canucks got shut out by a backup goalie. There wasn't very much emotion in the building. I thought it was a quiet crowd. And I kind of don't blame them. Like this team's not that interesting right now. They're not very fun. They're, there wasn't much that happened to warrant a big reaction. And there was some booing of Miller to start, but it kind of tapered down. It was just like the first time he touched the puck, and then there wasn't much anger from the fan base there. And there was a nice cheer for his video tribute, and that was great. And then they just kind of went on and put on a snooze fest.
Well, and he didn't touch the puck much all game long. Was not a factor in the game, and didn't push any buttons. He didn't.
No, he wasn't the antagonist. No. He wasn't the villain. Galaxy brain idea here. Maybe it was actually a really good game, but everybody, like Rob, had their eye on their phone watching the World Series game. Maybe just everybody missed a humdinger in the first 40 minutes.
That didn't happen. No? Wishful thinking.
I have another theory that, you know how like PD and Miller spent so much time like acting like there was nothing to see here, like they didn't actually have a problem with each other. They almost did that on the ice too. There really wasn't many times where there was any conflict. Miller hit PD a couple times late in the game, but that was just regular board battle stuff.
It was the on-ice version of no comment. Yes. It was the hockey version of no comment.
Yeah, PD didn't want to give us a headline, so he didn't go at Miller. I could see that maybe. You know what though, guys? I also have a theory on this. I think just as the PD and Miller and everyone in the Canucks organization were so sick of hearing about this story, but it was just such a big story that you couldn't ignore. I think Canucks fans are now sick of this story. I think we're over it. I think people are they're kind of done with it. It's like, okay, it happened. We've talked it to death for 11 months. And I think we're now finally everyone's sick of it. Like, let's move on.
Well, even if we weren't, Rob, I think last night was a natural closure to everything. Yeah. Because the only other thing we were waiting on was JT Miller to come back to Rogers Arena, get his video board tribute, and the fans gave him an excellent ovation. Blake and I talked about it yesterday. I figured that would be the case, and it was deserved for what he did on the ice.
And if there was emotion, I think the further the story gets further, but because there wasn't.
But here's the part that's very meaningful, okay? Because it doesn't matter if Rob and you and me and those of us on the media side or the fans are sick of this story or just want it to go away. What's now important is that the Vancouver Canucks dressing room and the JT Miller loyalist constituency, friends, whatever you want to call them, okay, they now have to move forward. If they hadn't already, and of course they talked a lot about that through the summer and into training camp, that group now has to move forward, understand JT Miller is not walking through that door. Your lot is cast with Elias Pettersson, and you've got to make the best of this, even if you disagreed with the decision Canucks management made last year.
Yeah, and you know what? The easiest way for them to be able to do that is have Elias Pettersson return to being a top flight center in the National Hockey League. I think we're seeing signs of that now. Like, I think he's genuinely playing better and showing a little bit more confidence with the puck. I'd still like to see him shoot a bit more. I thought that, like, when they had the goalie pulled, it's like PD becomes like a defenseman. Like, he becomes like a point man, and he's doing a lot of deferring. He had a few shots that he kind of, like wrist shots that he threw to the net, but I'm not seeing like the attack mentality. Like, I'd love to see him take a page out of Quinn Hughes's book. When Hughes gets the puck back there, he's looking to attack. He's looking to get closer to the net. I'd like to see a little bit more of that from PD, and challenge guys a bit more. When he has the puck on his stick, and look to be more selfish, be more of a goal scorer, rather than always looking for to make the smart play and the nice pass. But they need him to be more dynamic than that.
Management's in an interesting position right now because they've got the injury bug to lean on if they want to. They can just point to that and say, that's why we're 5-6. That's why we're not entertaining. But you wonder how real they're being with themselves about where this team is at. They don't care about entertainment value if you're winning. They will happily win 2-1 games en route to the playoffs. But losing 2-1 games en route to missing the playoffs is really not good. I don't think apathy is sinking in yet for the fan base, but there's a risk there. Like, I think apathy is in the on-deck circle. It's in the hole at the very least, to use World Series baseball parlance here. Like, it's not far away. Do you think management has got enough of a finger on the pulse there of Canucks fans and the bottom dollar here for them to care about that right now in terms of their hockey moves?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I just have, I mean, you nailed it though, right? Like you can win if you win 2-1 and make the playoffs. The city will get excited, even if the games are a little bit boring, because it'll be exciting to see the team win. But it's a fine line between that and losing 2-1, and that's the last place you want to be. The problem with this team right now is they're just so uninteresting. There's just not much there, right? I think we're just kind of counting the days down to Quinn Hughes leaving town, because if it goes like this all season, like why on earth would he stick around? I think that we're seeing some really bright signs with Thatcher Demko. That was one of the keys to the season, but can this team withstand all of these injuries? I don't think they can. The Kiefer Sherwood story is a nice one to start the season, but yeah, it's just, it feels like there's not much there. And I think when you're talking about apathy, I do wonder about the comments from Adam Foote, and I'm hesitant to have like too strong a take on this, because I think part of his strategy coming into this season is to just say less. Right? Don't be as forthcoming as Rick Tocchet was. Don't light the fire in the city by being overly, overly interesting. Remember how he said like he doesn't want to overanalyze things? Like that was one of his answers to begin with. But I do wonder, like, just one of his answers in the press conference yesterday was how they were playing a desperate team, and I kind of thought, like, should your team not be desperate? Right? Like the margins are very small here. And it's not like the Canucks were coming in off a heater. Like they lost like 4 or 5 games. Like where's the urgency from the Vancouver side? So I do wonder about that. Like, is there danger here that the Canucks are kind of, I don't know. I feel like the urgency meter probably needs to be ramped up a little bit here.
Yeah. I think Adam's actually been pretty good and pretty detailed on things like the forechecking explanation that he gave a couple of days ago. I think with regards to his best players, he's not ready to go down that road. But then there was the line skating at morning skate yesterday, Rob, which irregular for an NHL morning skate, and you come out dead like that. Oof. I wonder what that did. for him in the room with some of those players.
In the deployment, I think we haven't talked a lot about Evander Kane. I feel like that's kind of flying under the radar right now. But it's not going to probably for much longer unless he turns things around. We're now through 11 games. He has not scored a goal, 4 assists. He's leading the team, and he's leading the Canucks forwards in even strength ice time right now. Remember, he was in the JT Miller spot on the left flank on the power play to begin the year. Like, they're putting him in prime positions here. He's took another bad penalty last game. He is drawing a ton of penalties. I thought that was interesting. I looked up the stats. Like, he's kind of even on penalties drawn and penalties taken. But I think that was something that has been an issue with him before. It's not like an isolated thing just in his Vancouver time. But yeah, like why is that guy getting? If he's struggling, why continue to put him out over and over and over? So I do wonder about that. Like, is there enough, like the deployment issues with this team to begin with? Like, this team cannot afford to be, this team needs to be a well-coached team to do anything this season. And we're still learning about Adam Foote, right? We're only 11 games, so we'll, still time to decide that, but there have been a few cracks in there so far.
I think we'll talk more about Evander tomorrow when we'll see Pius Suter on the other side for the St. Louis Blues. Okay, here's what we bring you on for. RTMZ. We got wedding photos finally of the happy couple, Elias and Caitlin. Here we go. Tell us the story here. They finally released them.
Guys, this is like 10 bell time here at Daily Hive.
This is not a test. Yeah. Yes. Call the bunker in the Dakotas.
I immediately messaged Trevor. I said, Trevor, drop what you're doing. They're here. The photos. Wedding photos. Elias Pettersson.
Hello Magazine and
yes.
Oh my God.
Daily Hive. Yes.
And his bride Caitlin. It looks like we got confirmation on the date now. They got married June 22nd. Don't know the location. Don't know a ton else. But
looks like an old Gothic castle or something.
And they're I was also wondering, like, did they do this like was it big wedding? Was it a small wedding? Was it just the two of them? It looked like a small gathering of people.
I didn't see many Canucks in the background, Rob. Not that there were a lot of shots there that showed a larger group. It was pretty focused on Elias and Caitlin, but I did not see any Canucks in the background, but I might have missed them.
I mean, hey, there may have been more photos of that we didn't see on other invitees, but no, it looked like they had a picture perfect wedding. It looked like best day of his life, as he said.
I had a lot of questions about Elias Pettersson.
She posted the photos though. Did she post it from her own account, or did he from?
That's key. That's key. Usually the wags are the ones that post the photos. They're usually better on Instagram than the players. But no, this is Elias posted this himself.
Oh, okay, good.
He's acknowledging the wedding.
She's quite active on social, I've noticed. So
I had a lot of questions about Elias Pettersson coming into this season. The details about his wedding were none of them.
They had a dog waiting for them at the altar.
Great.
The dog participated in the wedding.
Score some goals.
Thank you, Blake. If you don't want to participate in this going forward, it can just be Rob and me.
I do not. Okay. You guys can do wedding beat.
Harvey doesn't need a sidekick on TMZ all the time.
This is making me long for maroon seats, honestly.
And by the way, some of the Blacks are missing cup holders. They don't all have cup holders.
Guys, I sat in the black seats for the first time on Sunday. It was not in the press box for that one. There are not cup holders with every seat.
Yes.
I did notice that.
Class warfare.
Okay, now here's the thing. So sitting in the upper bowl, they've got the bars that prevent you from fall over. But of course, those bars fit in between the seats, and that's where the cup holders go. So wherever there's a bar, there's no cup holder. So most seats in my row had a cup holder. But
the upper row is where the drinking happens. The upper.
Okay. Lastly, Rob, I want to bring up a tweet of yours from earlier in the week, but we've been talking about this as well.
Yeah.
The JT Miller return game, Lions and Whitecaps playoff games Saturday, the Blue Jays in the World Series, the Seahawks in a standalone Sunday night football game this weekend. Like, is this the biggest or busiest sports week for sports fans in BC and the Lower Mainland ever? Like, does it get any bigger or better than this week?
Yeah, my wife's ready for this week to be over, guys.
And it's only Wednesday.
Spending a lot of time at arenas, stadiums, and watching television. I've said this for a long time. I feel like the CFL playoffs are highly, highly underrated. Like, I know there's people that maybe don't pay as much attention to the CFL regular season. The playoffs are always great, and when you have a home playoff game for both the Lions and the Whitecaps, I think I've always seen it as like one of the best value picks for the local sports fan, because the tickets, like when the Canucks are in the playoffs, the ticket prices skyrocket and they're impossible to get. When you've got the Lions and Whitecaps, the ticket prices remain relatively even with the regular season. So you're paying regular season prices for a way better atmosphere, because of course the games mean way more because it's a playoff game and there's usually a great crowd, and
there's availability too.
Yeah. And that Whitecaps, I was at the Whitecaps game on the weekend, and the upper bowl, like a new playoff record, like over 30,000 people at the game. It's fantastic. And it looks like the Lions are going to have a similar crowd for their game this weekend. So I always just see that as like, what are tickets, like $30-$40? Like it's regular season prices, and you end up going to a really cool event. So I think it's a no-brainer.
Yep, very much looking forward to Saturday, where you may have Whitecaps, Lions. Well, you'll have Whitecaps and Lions. We know we'll have Vancouver Canucks as well, and you may even have baseball that night in a deciding Game 7.
Wow.
Of the
What a
World
week.
Series.
What a day.
That is a monster day, man. So regrets and regards to Chelsea. She'll miss you on Saturday, Rob. Thanks for this. Glad we didn't miss you this week. Catch up next.
Good stuff. Thanks, guys.